Hello. Happy Sunday, I guess. I have a tiny bit of coffee left. I'll drink that. So that I can say thank you, Summer Cable, for this nice mug. Summer Cable mug! Really, really awesome cables. And honestly, some of the nicest people you will ever meet on the planet. So, something that I always thought will now be uttered. I think it was Linkin Park or some other band or metal band, metal topic, whatever. I got a comment of someone saying, well, we expect something from a band on a new album and they better deliver. We buy the album because we have certain expectations and the band has to fulfill those expectations. And I think that is utter bullshit. Now, I was tempted to say musicians don't owe us anything. But that is completely wrong. Because without us, the audience, musicians are nothing. Without someone paying for the music, in this case nowadays not for the music anymore, but for the concerts, without the fans, a band is nothing. Without you guys, this channel is pointless. Okay? Without you guys, why make videos? I can't support myself financially without you guys watching, therefore giving me clicks, therefore giving me reach, therefore giving me the jobs to review stuff, therefore getting paid for it. So I always said it, and I say to the companies that I work with, the fans and the viewers come first. Their interests have to be the main thing, the main interest, the main focus of this channel. Whatever a company wants has to come second, third, or who knows where. Now, that being said, I don't think it's fair to say a band has done an album or two, or three, or whatever number, and fans bought it, and now they owe the fans exactly that music. I think that's wrong. Because fans that expect that from their bands and punishing the bands for trying new things are breaking the musicians. Some musicians are totally fine with that. But I feel fans that hold musicians responsible to continuously deliver the same stuff, I was going to say the same crap, but that's exactly not the point, the same quality material and the same type of material. They are putting them in a prison of not being able to be creative. Let me know what you think about this stuff, because I couldn't be a musician if I couldn't try new things, expand my horizons, go in different directions, play with different instrumentations, different styles. Now, I get that AC/DC are having a gay old time, okay? But the whole career was writing the same album over and over. There's, 0.7% variation within the songs. And yeah, the fans expect AC/DC. They go to a show, they buy a new album, they get AC/DC. You know that. It's the same thing. Is that musically fulfilling? Well, obviously for Angus Young and the gang, yes. But I don't know if that's fair to expect that from them. For them, it might be natural. And of course, the record company expects it because, hey, you made money with that. Do that thing again, make more money. Make more money. More money, more problems. I don't know. But I always admire musicians that even though there was success with something they did, they then went in a different direction. And I don't think we should punish them for that. I think it's very unfair to punish a band/artist for going in a different direction. Yeah, what's the worst that happens? I spit. What's the worst that happens? We get an album we don't quite like as much as another one. But you know what? They can always come around and come back to their roots and give us what we wanted. But we might also discover a new side of them, a new flavor. We might discover, we didn't like them for the heavy guitars. We liked them for the melodies because now the heavy guitars are gone. Who would have thought that that's possible? Let me give you examples. Big Joe Satriani fan. Flying in the Blue Dream. Holy crap. What an album. What was the next album? The Extremist. Utterly different sound. Now, of course, the artist retained his core essence of what Satriani does, but in a completely live-produced setting before it was studio and all programmed drums, all of a sudden, the Bissonette brothers in a studio, big live sound, dirtier, rockier, big sound, but it was still Satriani. He dared to go in a different direction, and it worked. Andy Johns, I think, produced that. He does the big live sound. He did the big live sound when I think he's gone. And then, I think the next album, whatever it was called, it was Manu Katché and Nathan East, and the drums and the bass were here. There was zero room on anything. It was just all ultra dry and a very, very tight, different sound. Still Satriani, but he went in a different direction. And then there was Crystal Planet. And then there was this album that was all electronica with Satch on it. But you know what? You can't take the Satch out of the Satch. It was all still Satch, but electronica. And then, you know what? Nowadays, came around to more of the band sound again. Did I like every single one? No, every single time it was a little bit of a, I don't know. I haven't heard that before from him. But let the man play. Let the man creatively express himself. John Mayer. Well, we all would like to have Continuum again. We'd all like to have Continuum over and over. But he is actually an artist that I think truly writes like an artist and not like the record company dictates, I think. Because when Battle Studies, I think that's what the album's called, came out, he was heartbroken. That whole album is nothing but love songs and My Heart's Broken and Where's Jenny Anderson or something like that. But it was true. It was a true album. And then he did more acoustic stuff on the other one that I can't remember. He goes in slightly different directions. And no, he doesn't continuously give us Continuum. He doesn't continuously give us the Strat sound with the Klon. Yes, he does that too, but goes in different directions and rewards us with new sides of him. I know that Chris Robertson of Blackstone Cherry watches the channel once in a while. Hopefully not this video. Sorry, Chris. I'm a huge Blackstone Cherry fan. I love Blackstone Cherry for the dirt, for the rawness, Southern rock roots, massive sounds, amazing hooks, beautifully written songs. And that's a band that doesn't need to be tightly produced like Nickelback and have the wall of sound massiveness in the kick and snare and guitars. No, dirt and raw studio performance kind of in a live room. Okay? But then, a couple of albums in, they discovered fuzz. The whole sound changed. They discovered fuzzes. And it became a different sound. The songs did slightly shift because of the sounds of the guitars and they went in a different direction. But you know what? They made it work and it was still Blackstone Cherry. The last album, I think the band lost that rawness because it's all kick and snare. I mean, it's kick and snare and vocals. But there's so much kick and snare, so massively heavy, huge, that it sounds, it lost that live dirt feel. Am I not going to hate on the band and say, what did you do? Where's my Blackstone Cherry gone? No. It's a direction. Let them try. Let them try something different, okay? Now we always come back to Linkin Park, and here's a band that had the balls after Minutes to Midnight. I think that's what the album is called. Which was, first of all, they had these new metal-y, rappy albums. And then all of a sudden they had pop rocky kind of songs. How do you dare to disappoint your core audience with that music? Artistic freedom. You do that. Was the record company happy? Probably not at first. Then that album did extremely well, and one single after another hit number one, whatever it was, or numbers, the big numbers. Huge album. And then to have the balls to go and do 1,000 Suns. I think that's what it's called. An album where you can't have a single song as a single. The whole thing has to be listened to in one big thing. It's a masterpiece. It is a modern Dark Side of the Moon. That's what it's called. And whenever you're waiting for the heavy guitars, not coming, comes at the very, very, very end of the album. So it's a massive disappointment for the diehard Linkin Park fan from the beginning, but it's a brilliant album by itself. And they continued that route, doing whatever they wanted to do creatively. And a true fan would let their artist do that. A true fan might be disappointed by the last album that Chester sang on because it was a pop album. It's a good album. But it isn't new metal-y Linkin Park, okay? So, yeah, you might be disappointed by that. Oh, Metallica, that's a big one. When Load came out, oh, that's not Metallica. Why? Because in one song, Kirk played a slide guitar somewhere. Yeah, Metallica fans want Master of Puppets over and over and over and over. How do you dare to ask a musician to literally regurgitate one thing in a very narrow style over and over and over? Is that fair? How is that fun for the musician? Learn a new instrument, add that. Learn about new influences. Harmonically, you might learn new things. Culturally, you might have traveled the world, seen things, taken in new ideas. You might get older. You might want to tone it down a little bit. Why not let the musician do that? It's not fair to say, oh, that's crap. Load's crap. It's a crap album. Take this into account. If I played you that album as a metalhead, okay? You're a metalhead. Imagine you're a metalhead for now. And I'm playing you Load, but you don't know it's Metallica. So you don't go into it with your normal assumptions and expectations of what this should be. And let's assume you're a dumbass and you can't hear that it's James's voice. I'm going to think you would probably love the shit out of it. So it's a really good album. Let's just say that's what you tell me. Oh, that's a really good album. But then you find out it's a Metallica album. Oh, it's a really shit Metallica album. And even if it is, okay. The worst that can happen is there's one Metallica album you don't like. Well, wait for the next one. Whatever that was. I don't know. And then Death Magnetic came and that was just... But let the musicians do their thing. I thrive from setting new parameters for everything I do. I've done a lot of progressive rock and progressive metal. And always try to hover in between the neo-prog stuff, but then the heavier things, because I enjoy the heavier things. But then also putting in influences from film score and bigger orchestrations, stuff like this, because that's what I like to do. Lots of vocal harmonies and vocal counterpoint. Okay, so I've done this, right? I've done all this to death produced and orchestrated music. Well, then I did a classic rock album. No. I did a 80s metal thing. 80s metal homage. Because it's different. much narrower parameters when it comes to what the drums do, what the song form is, what the lyrics are, super narrow parameters, much narrower parameters when it comes to what the guitar sounds are, right? But that narrow parameter for it has to fit into that style makes you think in a different way as an arranger and composer. And that's a cool new challenge. Was that an album that Henning Pauli or Frameshift/Chain, which were the prog projects, wanted? No, it wasn't for those people. Some of them still enjoyed it because they like my writing in general, but that wasn't the idea. I wanted to expand as a musician. I have a whole solo piano album, Colored Lines. Look it up. I have, after that a metal thing, I did a classic rock album. Went into a practice room, asked my friend Klaus to play all these drum performances based on classic rock bands. So we have, Deep Purple, Hendrix, Sabbath, Yes, all these things. The Who. And then I put myself on top of it. And because it had to be 60s, 70s classic rock, it was all, again, different parameters. It was one amp. It was a 100-watt amp, a Blackheart 100, which I still have. And just crank it up. 1, 2 guitars, crank that amp up, put an overdrive in front of it. No other options. Those were the options. By reducing the options, you're forcing yourself to go down a certain road and experience musically something new. And when I would usually re-record guitars and there was a scratch here and that wasn't absolutely perfect, I left all that stuff in there and it made the music breathe and it gave it life. And that's one of the albums I love to listen to more than a lot of the other stuff that was produced to death. Can I come back and do something in the prog metal area again? Absolutely. Can I do more produced stuff? Yes, because by doing the other stuff, I cleared my mind. I got out ideas that I wanted to do, I wanted to try in a different style on a different album, and then you can come back to it. But if you hold the musicians responsible to always give you the same thing, and they never have time or freedom to go into a different direction, I think you're asking them to be creatively caged. Again, Load, not a bad album. Is it the best Metallica album? I don't think so. Is it a bad album? By no stretch of the imagination. If you know it's a Metallica album, you're going to go like, it's not Master of Puppets. Well, yeah, but you already have Master of Puppets. Listen to that. Okay? That's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below, please. There's also links to shops and whatever. If you want to shop, please use the links. That helps me. If you want to buy Mr. Gugu, I don't get a kickback from that, but you get a cool sweater, and there's also a coupon code, all that stuff. Look in the description. There's cool stuff. There's also my course, Almost But Not Quite Complete Guide to Songwriting, and my drum programming course, and other courses that I have at Spectre Academy. I always forget to mention these. Buy them. That makes me money. But that's not the point. Comment below what you think about bands just trying new things. Doesn't mean they can't come back to what you loved about them, but the worst that can happen is that there's an album you don't like. But at least you got to see a new facet of the musician. You got the musician to, okay, I got that out. That was fun. Let's go back and do metal. Let the musicians go once in a while. I've said enough. Love you guys. Animals at the end.
Last, this too shall pass. Now you're left without a thing. But once you're freed from all possessions, you're feeling richer than a king. Feel you found the right direction. And when all the stars align, better take that as a sign. Remember, nothing's built to last. This too shall pass. There ain't no summer without rain. There ain't no fall without the gain.